adapt to a future devoid of third-party cookies, the vital for marketers to innovate and maintain personalized campaigns has never been greater. Today, we will explore cutting-edge strategies in our discussion titled Forget Cookies, Embrace Change, Winning Strategies for the New Marketing Landscape. I'm honored to introduce our session chairperson, Mr. Brijesh Munyal, CEO and co-founder of Ethinos. Welcome back, sir. Thank you for joining us once again. So let me welcome all the distinguished panelists. So ladies and gentlemen, let's all give it up for the Chief Marketing Officer of Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, Mr. Lakshman Velayutham. Put your hands together. Thank you for joining us, sir. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to welcome Head of Digital Marketing and E-Sales, Royal Sundaram. Give it up for Gaurang Thosani. Thank you for joining us, sir. So now, I would like to welcome Mr. Vijay, General Manager, Brand and Marketing of Century Mattress. Welcome. So last but not the least, let's all welcome Mr. Rajeshwar Rao, Vice President B2C Clovia, with one huge round of applause. So yes, I'm sure this session is going to have a lot of valuable insights. So without any more ado, over to you people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay guys, so I think the main idea today was to discuss about the future of marketing, which is the cookieless world. So we thought that, rather than we going very scripted, having question answers which are scripted, we better go all open. And I ask first question, I give you a chance for the second one, then I ask third, I give you a chance for the fourth one. So audience, if you have questions around the topic, be ready with your questions, because here is where you get a chance to ask more questions, to the specific panelists out here. Before I start, cookieless world. So what you're going to keep hearing, and you already heard in the last few months, and you're going to keep hearing for the next few years, is about marketing in this world without cookies. Keep in mind, it's going to be a cookieless world, not a dataless world. So that's more interesting. So with that, I'm just happy to go in the sequence or as and when. Rajesh, I would like you to just, give some insight about your opinion that is there about this whole cookieless world. So maybe you start and then maybe I'll choose.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. So, my opinion about cookieless world is, initially, when we started off Clovia, started Clovia journey. So, we did rely on, third-party cookies as such, especially for our retention and retargeting activities for a good amount of time. So over a period of time, we've realized that, there are issues related to scalability and attribution. So that's when I shifted budgets to, Facebook and, Google, And then over a period of time, we've realized, it's again, we have to spend money to kind of retarget customers and bring them back to the website, right? Then we thought a customer engagement platform would make more sense. So then we started investing into this platform called MoEngage. So there, we enriched a lot of first-party data, and we used to kind of retarget them through, various channels, be it, WhatsApp, RCS, SMS, and so on and so forth. And we eventually limited budgets on all these platforms, and we now manage all the retention or remarketing activities or reactivating activities through this particular, customer engagement platform only. So in a way, to give one more example, so contribution from both the apps, Android and iOS, is about 70% now. Wow. So in our case, it's not a worry for us, right? And like I said, for the web bait, we depend a lot on the customer engagement platform. So for us, we are on the safe, this thing, Yeah.
Good. So Vijay, you are into a product marketing which is high ticket size, and not that frequent. Like, I won't buy mattress every month or, every quarter. So what are your opinions about this whole cookieless world? How is it going to be and what is going to be?
So first of all, thank you for having me for this session. And before going to this cookie-less world, I would like everyone to understand why it has become a cookie-less world. What is the prime motto behind that? If you see in Europe or in US, you find these regulations pretty strong, okay? And it's related to the customer privacy, okay? So technology has evolved a long way. We come in marketing also, if you see a decade back and now towards the digital transformation that is happening, technology is evolving. We need to be, sophisticated with the changes that is happening, especially coming to the question of, how this is going to impact us, or maybe our Century mattresses. We are so every business is. I have my friends, talking about, finance, banking sector, large databases. Then I have my friend who is into a very beautiful segment, right?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. So far, it's very beautiful.
I agree.
So for us,
His models are very beautiful. That's what you want to say, right?
he is also very handsome. So in this case, we are very, not that beautiful segment we are operating. If you see mattress and foam, we are into two line of businesses. So every mattress in your home, you see inside there is foam. Mattress is made up of foam, latex, or maybe coir, different formations. But to sell this, our influencers are the karigars. That karigars, for everybody to understand, they are the carpenters in selling the foam. And then for us, brick and mortar, as long as digital is for awareness, we utilize it. And for really conversion part at the offline, my promoters play, or the shop boys or the dealer network plays a big. So we developed our own ability in terms of how to incentivize them, how to target them, how to get the referral onto it. We are running program called Class and Puraskar. So class is primarily for the mattress and Puraskar is for karigars. So more Hindi, we come from Hindi belt rather than India, Bangalore, or maybe more digitalized world. So there we are targeting them. So when the cookie-less world we are talking about, what I want to say is that build your own ability. मतलब अपना ability बढ़ाओ. Build your own website. Build your own apps which can engage with your target customers. Then you will be able to ultimately, whatever the traffic you get it via whatever the marketing mediums you approach it, conversion is a key lever. For that, I think building own ability will have the long-term sustenance in business.
Got it. So what you mean to say is that whether you're selling whatever, first-party data is very, very critical and important. So you
Yes.
ensure that you invest in a first-party data platform. So Gaurang, coming to you, again, variety of different types of products, maybe, same customer but different mindset altogether all the time. So what about your business? How do you view this cookie-less future, cookie-less world?
Yeah, so on this piece, let's look at the category as an insurance. When you look at motor insurance, right?
Yeah.
There is no variance in the product. I sell or someone else is pushing a product is quite similar, right? What changes there is the price and the discounts that are offered, which again affects the premium. The customer behavior in general, there is who's going to give me highest IDV and the lowest premium is what customers look at, right? It's completely based on the product or the premium that I'm offering today. Cookies, or in a world of without cookies, will not have much impact on that. While we say that, yes, as a marketer or as a team, today we do like to understand who this customer is, where is he coming from. Will that get impacted? Yes. Are there ways to mitigate that? Again, yes. So that's what we need to build further and build a robust marketing channel, or the D2C channel. Just to tell you, last 2 years we have been able to reduce our cost of acquisition by 50%. Somewhere I do believe that may not happen this year again, right? The cost of acquisition might go up. So that's something we need to plan and see how things goes in next few months. Yeah.
Got it. So Lakshman, coming to you, a complete change in avatar, starting from a small finance, going public, getting into different aspects. You had very different set of customers in the early days of your thing. How do you feel about this cookieless world? What do you think your opinion are about this?
So Brijesh, within Ujjivan there are two customer universes. One is where we retail asset loans, okay, and that is primarily to the unserved and the underserved segment, which is middle class and below. And there is another universe which is altogether different, where we garner deposits and savings, that is the affluent segment. Okay, so at every point in time, as a marketer's standpoint, what I have come to realize is that the role of the CMO and of the marketer is undergoing a huge transformation today. It is no longer wearing just the brand hat of the brand, but are you now becoming a customer experience manager and a customer growth officer? The point is, how do you look at your channels? Okay, now all of us have an onboarding process, 60 days, 90 days when you acquire a customer. We normally retail products and services, either through email, whatever channels you have. How many of us seek additional information from the customer, which you can combine with data analytics and purchase behavior and see how can I create customized cohorts and take it to the next level? Okay, that is something that we will have to now start building in. And for us, the advantage is because we are a bank, it is all about trust and relationships, though they are willing to part with that information. So maybe it be with insurance. But unfortunately, that can't be said about the other categories. So, and how many of us have looked at the account opening form that we know where customer fills in the email and the phone number? What attempts have we made to change that account opening form and see what additional information can I seek from the customer? After, of course, taking the fact that the customer's consent is there. But what can I do to build that data? So when I look at a zero party or first party data, it is imperative that you look at all the touch points that the customer is engaging with us and see how you can start building. Because if you start building today, then 5 years from now, actually you will start benefiting.
Correct. Because as you rightly said, I've also seen this in my last 18 years of experience in digital marketing. The only person who had to evolve in the company was the CMO, because he had to change or she had to change according to the whole market scenario. In fact, to give you an example on the same lines, I had one of our security clients. They were like 20 years in the country, and the first 14, 15 years, all the sales that were done at branches. So they had forms, and what they did was, one bright CMO came and he basically converted all the data from offline to online, but did not update the data. So in the system, I was still 21-year-old, earning 1 lakh rupee a year, but in reality now I'm 40 years old. So I actually got a campaign to run, and the campaign basically still targeted me as a 20-year-old guy. So I think also what is important is we've seen use the technology and also upgrade the data that you kind of collect and use it for the right thing. So now coming to the audience, anyone has any questions before I ask my second question? Oh, fantastic. You were ready. So can somebody pass the mic? You want to ask anyone or sab pakad ke anyone? Okay, great.
We'll need to give him the mic.
Hi, I am Raja. I run a fintech company. And just a winning strategy question. Through a digital marketing, how we can differentiate the willingness to pay versus the willingness to join? How do you measure that?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Yeah, could you repeat?
Just repeat the question.
Couldn't hear it. A little loudly, please.
In a digital marketing campaign for your platform, how you can differentiate a willingness to join versus willingness to pay from a customer?
Oh, you mean add to cart and purchase? Something like
Yeah,
this?
willingness to join is someone wants to participate in your platform, but they really do not want to pay. But when you have a product which is a premium product, and then how do you identify it? Because the digital marketing is going to target the customers, right? Customers. There are some customers who comes and joins, registers your platform. There are some customers who come to your platform and then they are ready to pay for your premium services.
Got it.
How do you differentiate that? Willingness to pay versus willingness to join.
Got it.
Could you also just share the product that you're talking about? You're working in the fintech, you said, right?
Yeah, I'm running a fintech company, but generally
What do you offer?
Fintech.
Fintech risk, chargeback, and fraud products.
Okay, so you basically have a free model and a subscription model.
Subscription
Something
model.
like that.
This
Got
is
it, yeah.
apart from my business, but just understanding your
Got it, got it.
digital strategies of marketing. I'm just, the question came to my head.
I don't know if you have recently put anything on your Amazon cart, they start sending on WhatsApp saying that you have 9 products, 6 products in your cart. Do you want to purchase it right now? That is one of the strategies Amazon is doing currently. There are no right answer or wrong answer, right strategy, wrong strategy here. This is one of the strategies that you can follow. In the cookieless world, your retargeting may not be that seamless the way it's today, but obviously there are ways of doing it. That is something that you will have to work on, but don't look at, when you say digital marketing, employ all your channels, be it an SMS, email, WhatsApp, your push notifications, everything. Just paid or just Google or just your social media. No, everything put together is something which will give you the right results that you're expecting.
So just adding to the point, willingness to join and willingness to pay.
Yeah.
So probably willingness to join is the result of your successful marketing campaign where you attract the people, they like you. When they want to pay you, so it requires some additional benefit for him, okay? So you need to, like said, when you go to Amazon, customized each customer, you need to have the customized campaign. So you need to give some benefit for him to pay. He already showed that I'm willing to, willing at your product, whatever the product you are there. Then you need to reward him, or maybe pre-purchase, we don't say reward, but incentivize him, or, give some specific offer. That's what we do in remarketing. So that incentivization will help you to close the sale, get you the conversion over there. So always this is the more, important data when we look at the digital marketing, where you have set of customers available at your add to carts, how you are going to retarget them and bring them paying for your. Then I think the fintech companies play a fantastic role, like all the EMIs, you make money out of them. That's what the EMIs and...
You want to add something?
Let me add. So I had a very recent experience on Disney Hotstar. So I used to visit regularly just to see what's the latest update on each of these OTTs. Now around 3 weeks back, they uploaded a lot of good content. So I started visiting regularly, but I had not subscribed to them. So I was waiting, saying, no, let me finish the rest of the OTTs and then go to Disney. Now suddenly 2 days back, they came back with an offer saying that it was a nudge from their side, saying, no, 4 months of Spotify free. Now I don't know whether that Spotify was general or because they tied up with Spotify to figure out that I was using Spotify content. Okay, so the point is, today we may be looking at generic tie-ups across other brands. Increasingly, as we go forward, we may identify cohorts within our own this thing, and we may have to reach out and saying, here is my database. Which are the databases that are combining? Where is the same customer, but you may be able to look at multiple brands and make offers. So I see that happening more often. Maybe 5 years, 10 years down the line, that will be a very common thing as we go along. Far more customized in nature. So that will probably encourage someone to click on that button and saying, okay, let me try.
Got it. So just to add, I think valuable input, one more I would like to give it my side. When you start the campaign, start using data-driven marketing, unlike doing marketing. Like I'll give you an example of fintech, as you mentioned, and assume that you are in the business of lending, right? Now what happens is that, we'll run a marketing campaign and say that, hey, hello, reach out to everybody, and then say that this is not working. Now in lending, what we've seen is people who want a loan, you don't want to give them, because some things are not good at their end, and that's the reason they reach out to you. But you can add a data layer and say that I will basically show ads to people whose CIBIL score is above X, and reach out to them. Even for that matter, if you're doing investments, right? Take this as one of the criteria, run the campaign. When you get insights from it, slice and dice, understand which type of profile actually registered and which type of profile moved to the next level. Then you can plan your campaign number 2 by adding more data. I think the secret sauce is that the more and more you data-driven campaign, the better is your output. It may sound to you expensive in the first go, because when you do the media planning, you will say, oh my God, I should give $80 for CPM, then $20 for data, and then $10 for tracking it. Believe me, you will actually see the end result much, much more powerful. What has changed, right? Pre-Geo era, everybody online was a customer. I do remember the days where I used to work as an agency with a bank or with somebody. They used to say, जिसके पास पैन कार्ड है उसको क्रेडिट कार्ड दे दे, जिसके पास इंटरनेट है उसको लोन दे दे, because they come in that filter that they are paying 1,000 rupees for 1 GB. You know, it became a filter. Now that filter is dead. We are 74 crore people online. You need to choose the right person. During lunch we were discussing that there is no sabun also now left to market to all the 74. You know, because if there is a particular soap which is targeted for an X person and a particular soap for the Y person. So it is very, very important that you start your campaign with data. It may sound expensive. Believe me, it will pay for itself. You know. So my next question, anybody has any other question if they want to ask? Something to do with this or before I ask a question? Anyone? No? You want to prepare time for another question? Okay, great. So coming back, you know, if any order, you know, if you want to pick up and, you know, you build a beautiful app which is different as compared to what your regular channel is. Would you like to throw some light on it? You know, what exactly is the whole idea about it and why are you doing it? So
just to give a background, as I mentioned, 2 universes within Ujjivan. So when it came to giving out loans, first we were an NBFC. So when we transitioned to a bank, we got close to around 45 lakh customers of our from microfinance to a micro banking customer. So as usual, we designed an app and we put them in 11 languages and said, okay, no, start doing it. Year 1 goes, year 2 goes, year 3 goes. No, only English is being used as a language. Other languages are not being touched at. And we are baffled. We thought, no, we had done a very good app. So then we went out as usual. We did sales contests. We incentivized the customers. We tried everything. Nothing seems to be happening. So then we went and did a psychographic study. And that's when we realized the importance of why it is so difficult to get data. Customer said, no, your app is all looking fine and wonderful, you know, but I can't read and write. So I thought the very basic thought for which the app was done itself was defeated. So we had to go, you know, to base zero and redesign we have that app, but we created one more app called Hello Ujjivan, which is India's first voice visual vernacular. So I can speak into that app and know what is my balance account. I can do an FDA, I can pay my EMI, and that too in your local dialect. So the whole thing is AI and ML driven. So the point what we are trying to say is that, no, it is much easier to collect data from a metro-centric person or person in the top 50 cities. But to get to do even the basic banking from our segment is a challenge, leave alone getting data from them. If I ask them, what are your likes and preferences, aapko jo likhna hai likh lo. Okay, so in a cookie-less world, for us it is a different challenge altogether to figure out how to understand this consumer better. So, the only way we are now slowly realizing is that, no, you speak, as you speak and you speak and you speak. So tomorrow we may start asking them questions relating to what we want, which would help them do higher level of upsell, cross-sell or relatable aspect by asking them questions and speak. So voice is the medium by which we believe will create all the difference.
Vijay, very similar category, you know, you also belong to. So what are your thoughts around it? What exactly you do?
Fantastic. So we always think educating customer is important, but knowing the education of customer is also important. That's where data... That's where data plays a very important role. Adding 2 additional questions sometimes add great value for your 6 months effort or 1 year effort. So similar kind of a thing for our karigars, like more in central part of the country, the education level of karigars or the literacy level, to be very specific, is very low. In that case, like we also have the app of that, then being more regionalistic, like communicating, designing the content as well as, targeting them with the understanding of the your own target customer. Like we had all the campaigns. I mean, we run only in Puraskar in Hindi. We never do English or any other language because my customer, my targeted, my key influencer, he doesn't know English. So that's how it plays a major role. So I think we need to know more about your customer, and definitely the data, the first data that you have, that you know, will help you to know the customer more.
Absolutely, and I think to your point also, right? I have seen in my personal life when I travel in an Uber, and if you tell this guy, or in a cab, to tell this guy to go to Terminal 2, he doesn't know how to type Terminal 2, but he knows how to say Terminal 2. So he tells the Google map, take me to Terminal 2, and that's how it sets up. I think that's fantastic. So Gaurang, from your point of view, you know, I understand your customers are now all tier 1 and tier 2, but would you want to express something on the lines of how would you do it here?
So, yeah, I mean, just the other day I was talking to someone from Manipur. He said that in Manipur there are 2 languages which are spoken. Normally in Tamil Nadu we'll have only Tamil primarily, right? So it's not just the language is per state. There are multiple languages in the same state as well. Right? Now that is the complexity that we Indian marketeers are working with, right? It's not difficult, just that it takes a lot of your bandwidth to create content in multiple languages. Again, with AI, that becomes that much easy if the language is available. Right? Is it required? Definitely. Going for localization is going to help us in India for sure.
Got it. Very different site or different types of TG you have, right? And I think, again, we were discussing that if X percentage of males order on your site, I don't know if they're married, not married, you know, so how do you get into these complexities?
So I'll give you a very good insight on a different line. So what happened is, I mean, as when we launched a space, we observed that a lot of customers struggling to find the right size, you know. So then, of course, of the obvious reasons, because I mean, the size varies from brands to brands and all. So then we came up with this tool called Clovia Fit Test, right? It asks different questions from the customer. At the end of it, it recommends the right size and right style to the customer.
Got it.
Right? And with this kind of tool, I mean, we could collect the data also, different data points. The same point of time, we could recommend the correct size and correct style also. So end of it, what has happened is we've realized that the conversion percentage of this particular tool is almost 4x of normal users, right? And what we've done is, as a follow-up, so this has become very good hook for us to kind of retarget customers and reactivate customers. And we've run some multiple lead generation campaigns also through this. And we used to get the data and we used to kind of retarget them. And it's like a prospecting, marketing campaign also,
Super.
right? To acquire new customers, right? And as a follow-up, what we've done is we've made this live on the website also. Whenever a user is logged in, it's a widget with his recommended set of bras, styles, and so on and so forth. And whenever he goes onto the website and browses through this particular category, they'll see an icon saying that this is a recommended fit or recommended size.
Wow. Nice. Got it.
Yeah.
Great. That's a good insight. So sometimes innovations within the system helps
Exactly.
you multiply.
For the female audience, we do have a tool called Gentleman Guide, where we
Nice.
recommend product spaces there, different occasions and everything. Yeah.
Superb. Audience, any questions that anybody has? कोई नहीं पूछ रहा? No one? Okay, cool. My third question, anyone can choose to answer. What is the importance of creative that you feel is in the cookieless world? Maybe you want to start?
Yeah, it's very important, you know. I mean, people say that email marketing is almost dead, but we still drive about 30% of open rates and 2% of CDRs, right? Of course, the key is, the segmentation, right? What kind of customer is interested in what kind of product, whether it's a different category or maybe different offers, new arrivals, best sellers. That's why we segment customers in different buckets. And with the right kind of creative and content, with that only we can, kind of drive people from this particular channel to the website, right? So of course it plays a very, very important role, right? We vouch for CTRs, right? So all that is being driven by the best creatives only, yeah.
Got it. Anyone in the audience?
That is the first tool where you engage with the customers, and that's where Now what we need to work is real time, knowing the customer and showing what he is interested in. So once you get that creative well done, then follow up, you can have multiple things that to do with the customer.
Nice. Gaurang, anything from your side?
See, we humans consume with using 5 senses, right?
Yeah.
Sight, smell, and so on, right? Digitally, all you can do is sight, primarily. Also ears, because there's music which can play. But first is sight. So that's so important from a digital marketing perspective. If your creative is not, which is going to appeal to your customers or your prospects, it's not going to take you to the next level. The whole idea of the first creative, the first line of creative is to take you to the next level and then so on, right? So I think it's absolutely important to hit the nail right then, that hard, that customer moves to the next level, yeah.
See, for me, the bigger challenge that I face today, when I ask my team saying, no, tell me which creative has worked or not. The only answer there was, ये creative से ज़्यादा lead आया, ज़्यादा business आया. I said, what is the lost opportunity? Okay, what have you not done? And that's a very difficult answer for us because, and one question that I always try to answer and I have not been able to find a solution is, everyone talks about AI and ML in marketing. Beyond Cadbury and some of the brands who have really done fantastic job. No, I am grappling with the fact that how do I leverage AI ML on the creative space or even on the data space. So I think it is time that we got into A/B testing of at least some 60 creatives a week, which means that you need that kind of technology and a backup to really keep testing your creatives and see what works, what doesn't. I think we'll have to go back to ground zero and tell yourself that no, you know little about marketing or about customer. So your consumer insights is not to the formal research anymore, but you'll have to be in the active mode all the time, because if you really want to use your data, that means you will need data. And just not data from what your transactions are, but how is the consumer behavior evolving with every time you present a creative or a new thought.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. Adding to it, what we have seen in the multiple campaigns that we have run, right? That what works in Annasalai doesn't work in Karapakkam. What works in Nungampakkam doesn't work in Karapakkam, because the audience is different, the people are different, everything is different. So it is very important for us to actually not just slice and dice creative as per the segment, but also where you're advertising. Because a lot of people try to create differences between Bombay and Chennai, but between Chennai only there are so many segments that you can do, because what sells here doesn't sell there. So it becomes a very important role, and that's where we've seen, a lot of our campaigns where you get the AI, need not it change too much, but small communication can actually make a big difference. Again, my standard format. Going back to audience before I ask, fantastic. I have 2, 4. Wow, creative लगता है important था. So Anand, can we start with you? Yeah. Serious question पूछना. Sorry, I've seen all the 4 hands, so I'm coming one by one. Okay,
so, dear panel members, if I may have the attention. See, we are talking about forget cookies, right? So we are talking about safeguarding the privacy. Other side is the personalization. And we are in today's world that we are living in, we want everything to be personalized to us, right? So we are seeing the contradiction in these 2 things. One side you want to save the privacy, right? Other side you want personalization. Imagine the situation when you start seeing all the irrelevant ads in front of you. It really irritates you, right? Yes. So what's the world beyond? Like, are we going into the digital marketing space by saying that, that this will be another form of TV advertisement? And then the only way of sheltering and defending ourselves is only first-party data or third-party data, right? Because we have seen in the European country, they have gone through this. My few of friends are working there, and the CAC, CPU, everything is skyrocket. The cost of everything on the digital marketing is very, very high. So it's a food for thought. Maybe if you guys can share your side of the views on this point. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll go for it. Are you married?
Yes.
Does your wife love you and hate you as well? It does, right? So
yeah,
I'm saying
it's a mix. Yes.
It's a mix of everything, right? So this Kukule's world is going to be same. That it's important as a consumer myself. I want to safeguard my privacy for sure. As a marketer, I don't want, or rather let me say, as a marketer, I want to know more about you, right? So that I can give you the right product, right services when you need it, right? This is going to be a jugalbandi here for sure. But it's how we accept this change is really, really very important. This is there. We can't fight it right now. The whole point is there are ways and means of doing this where your cost of acquisition reduces. Most important thing, the other day also I was talking to someone, I said that, does your prospects or people at large like you as a brand? Do they know your brand? Lot more shift is going to happen from just paid media to brand creation. Can we create a brand which people connect with? Do you have your processes in-house, for example, insurance? Is my claims process so simple and can I give you a claim within half an hour, right? All that will have a lot more impact than just like, paid marketing, for example, right?
So some of the studies, Anand, have already proven that it's always personalization over privacy. So people, so it's happened with us also a lot of times in a medium like outdoor. If we are in the process of buying a car, suddenly we feel the entire city is painted with car advertisement. That ad is always there, that ad was always there, but I was not in the buying cycle, so I was not observing. You know, if I'm in the process of buying a real estate, suddenly I see the entire city painted with real estate ads, which was the case always, but because I was not in the whole process of buying, I was having a dark spot or a media dark on it. So there has been a very good study online done by one of the European Union, one of the group, I think, and they mentioned the same thing, that whenever a customer is asked personalization over privacy, personalization has won. You know, so, and to answer your point, I think yes, we will have to invest in first-party data. We will have to keep doing more and more first-party. Otherwise, CPOs will shoot, and that's the reason I feel that, you know, Google has been telling for last 3 years, cookieless, lekin ho nahi raha. You know, maybe they've also done this study and seen he spends, I don't know. I mean, you know, but so I think it's first party is going to be the game changer, or buy third party and use it as first party for your campaigns. You know, that is where we'll actually see the edge of the whole change. That's what I feel. Yeah, anybody else wants to? And
actually the first party data of the entire funnel. It's not just the closures.
Yes.
Not just the sale. Every lead coming in, also the server side data that we be able to capture going forward. We'll have to invest in it, obviously. But that is something is going to help us move forward.
Aage. Hey, sir, order wise jao na. Hey, time, don't worry, we have time.
Thanks. Jejo George, since we're talking about creatives, this is something which I've been talking with my agency as well. How important is it to have a QR code on the creative? And also coming to that part, you know, if the QR code is there, the data collected after that, you know, comes under the cookieless portion as well.
Yeah, QR code is important. I mean, so we do a campaign called Brand Insert. I mean, with every order, we send a QR code to the customer. On the next purchase, they'll get once they kind of scan this, they'll get to win something, you know. So that will become a very good hook for the customer to kind of come back again and shop, right?
So incentivizing the QR.
Incentivizing the customer, yeah. And at the same time, we can collect some data points also, like the birthdays, anniversaries, and so on and so forth. Yeah. In that case, also we've done a campaign with Delhi Metro, right? Wherein we've given, offer to all the new customers. All they got to do is they have to kind of scan the QR code and give the details.
But I'm just again coming from the aesthetic of the creative. The QR code.
So on the aesthetic of the creative also, if you see, so you cannot say everything about yourself in one creative, right? What if I ask you a question? If customer want to know more, what should you do? You leave your customer. I mean, I don't know the example is right or not. You see a beautiful girl. If you are going for a college, you see she is good. If really you like her, you want to go, you need to follow her. You need to know the address. You
put a QR code there.
I mean, to know more. I mean, you lose your opportunity. If you don't have a QR code, you lose your opportunity where customer shows some interest. How do we come to you? So I think that way QR
It's a
code.
good add-on, right?
So I think my 2 bits here is that, as he rightly said, you'll have to give some catch, some carrot for the person to do the QR code, otherwise he's not going to do. But if you ask me honestly, that if I see a brand ad and then you make me say a QR code, I think,
Yeah,
let it be.
But also look
that's
at it.
exactly what.
If someone actually does that, that's your actual customer,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You have reached, your funnel is much
Yeah.
better right now. So yeah.
Yeah, but then you're right. But then if he's doing a big awareness campaign, which is he wants to reach out to more and more people, and then if he judges that only 20 people did the QR scanning, then
That is a different. So he asked whether QR code. Judging basis on QR code is a different topic. But for that only one person or a 2 person who want to know more about you, don't want to miss it, you should have. But that does not define that your campaign is successful because you or failure because of 20
So just to
QR code.
add on to that answer, thank you very much. But then my question is, if the QR code, the person scans it, I'm considering myself as a consumer, I don't want to land on a page which just says fill this data. Should I put a video which says thank you for scanning before we go to that?
Can I?
100%.
Can I? So we did a print ad on fixed deposits, and we placed a QR code on the nearest branch that you can visit. Okay, so on the day of the ad, we got close to 20,000 scans. The point is that it works. QR code works better when there's a product proposition, but when it comes to brand awareness, you may get video views, and we did it even for a brand campaign. But the amount of scans that we got when it was a product ad vis-a-vis a brand ad, the product always rules better.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I think they have to any one of you. You can.
Okay, so my question is like this. When we are talking about hyper-personalization and things like that, right? So we are always inquisitive to get more information from the customer. But from the customer's angle, for example, me, what I do is I actually don't fill all the data right. For example, I use the same Amazon account for me, for my wife, for my kid. So it's kind of difficult for Amazon to figure out what's the gender of the Amazon account also. So I do it with purpose because I don't want all the times ads and things coming in place. So with the customers becoming intelligent, how are we gonna tackle the situation without cookies also, and how are we gonna tackle the situation of customers not filling the right data? How we will find the single source of truth about the customer? Is there any way to do it, and what's the?
So I think only third party is going away, not the first party data, right?
Exactly.
Right. So we still have first party data. We can see the customer's purchase behavior and your browsing history. So basis that we can make whether this customer is a male or female or a mixed kind of profile. Accordingly, we can retarget them.
And just to add, device ID. All said and done, you may have one Amazon account, but you will never share your phone with your wife, right? You may share your wallet, but not your phone. Would you give her your phone? अरे नहीं दे पाएगा. WhatsApp lock करके रखा. How will you give?
So
Exactly. But then the device ID is connected. So now Amazon knows that this device ID of this email ID is used by a female because she's consistently ordering XYZ. This device ID of this email ID is used by a male. So what you would see is, you would actually see very different remarketing ads from a particular brand on different devices. Okay, maybe in your cart you have a watch, and in her cart there's groceries. Actually see the phone. If she gives you the phone, see the phone ads. It'll be different because it's not just the email ID. As he rightly said, first party is not dying. So you can keep slicing and dicing because see, in all the e-commerce world, right? We don't need to make so many email IDs. Like today, we all may have a common Amazon ID to shop, or we may have a common Flipkart ID to shop because every addresses are stored, everything is stored. That's why they move to the device ID. So you are getting an extra layer to target.
also if you use only a single mobile, okay, all your
chance ही नहीं है, बीवी को phone देगा ही नहीं.
ठीक है, एक सोच लेंगे. To answer his question, from your mobile, if diapers are ordered, you are a married man, you have data. What I want to tell is, data is Bible. You get all data. You're ordering groceries, you're ordering different, what kind of, over the period, definitely Amazon will have that data. One, personalization. Number two, same, you are not a family, imagine you have 5 roommates with your friend, somebody using. Still there, your way of ordering or your way of behavior is different, right? So at that personalized level, you will be seeing that ads. In case you use one mobile also, I mean, it's
In fact,
easy.
you know, on a lighter note, I remember an incident that happened that one lady went to a Baba and said, Baba, मुझे लग रहा है कि मेरे पति का इसके साथ चक्कर है. You know, आप मुझे मदद कर सकते हैं क्या? So Baba said, come. So Baba and the lady go to that girl's house with the husband's phone and the Wi-Fi gets connected. You know, that means uska chakkar hai. So you know, now why you're worried? This is also can be caught now. Babas also are dependent on the mobile device now. Sorry, your question.
Yeah, actually the consumer behavior with the relevance of data bandwidth. The consumer behavior once we have 2G connections, then 3G, then 4G, then 5G. The seamless of data of inflowing and their method of consuming that data is entirely different. Their how we are going to target those kind of things. Once the attention span, everything, they will have randomly hop in, hop out. These things will happen, right? So how will manage those things when we target the audience?
Yeah, the attention span has definitely gone down. Not just the newer generation or the Gen Zs, but even ours, right? Today, when we look at YouTube, it's like this a lot of times. Why? Why is that? Because that content is not relevant to you, right? Can I, as a brand, make content which is relevant and where I'm not pushing just my product, right? If I can create that kind of a content, customer or the prospect might want to go through the entire video, right? And again, the simple basics of the first 10 seconds, ensure that you have a hook there, so someone wants to look at the next 10 seconds and so on, right? That is important. Plus, it's not just about your brand. How are you enabling your brand, which is socially active? How is it thinking about not just making money, but adding value to the person who is looking at the video or the world at large, right? That is something which we'll have to work on. If you look at the Gen Z, is very pro-earth, pro-world, and so on, right? They are very socially active. So how can we be active, relevant in that space as well? It's something very important, right?
So I mean, when we were discussing, that is the biggest challenge what as a marketers we also have. Like a very layman example we were discussing. I say I like mangoes. So it doesn't mean from tomorrow all the mango ads are coming on me. I don't eat in breakfast mango, but the brands treat me, I eat breakfast mango, lunch mango, dinner mango. Until I buy that mango, you keep on popping or bombarding them. So that's where the relevance, that's where the language, what we talk, how do you segment, how do you target comes to it. And still, I think there's a long way for the digital marketers also. We need to go with coming of AI and machine learning, where you have large chunk of database, understanding your every bit of behavior. The technology is definitely going to help us, and I think we will move forward in a very good way.
I want to ask one more question, since you say that I know large data of
Cheating कर रहा है तो उसका number था. Cheating. Okay, ask.
Okay. So we are again, he asked one question in the privacy and personalization. Then again, if you do all kind of psycho analysis, cyber analysis of a person, then where is the privacy? That's another
That's
question.
what,
right?
the consent management, what all, the third party cookies we are talking about. One point maybe we did not touch up is we are working on consent management, right? So without your concern, that's what is good. Without your concern, we don't. So that's where the change is going to happen. So definitely it is benefit if I go other side of the table. This with no more third party cookies, yes, definitely there is one edge for the consumer, and it is beneficial for the consumer, their privacy, their interest, everything. There is consent management which is going to play a crucial role.
The only difference is the consent primarily. We'll still follow people, we'll still follow you wherever you go. as a marketer, but you will give us a consent that you can follow me.
Yeah.
Or we force you to give.
Well, I have a question to you, that if you are sitting in Europe and you've been told to make a plan, would you make one plan or 5 plans or 7 plans?
You asking me?
Yeah. Because, we are getting too worried about filters, but, I'm just giving you an understanding that in India, we have 75 crore people online, right? And I think all Europe put together, we don't have more than 30 crore.
Yeah.
So for Europe, we'll make 20 plans because France and Italy and Rome and UK behave differently. Suddenly, when it comes to slicing and dicing in India, we are worried. You have 74 crore people online, 75 crore. You need 5,000 every day. True. So what if you slice and dice? You're going to get it. You're going to get that. It looks very complex. Sounds very complex that we'll put one more layer, one more layer. But what will happen is after layers also, because thanks to our population, because after 1947 we had nothing to do apart from increasing population, and that's what we did, and this is what has happened. So, you will not worry, don't worry. The more you slice and dice, your campaign will be better. It will sound costly, but it will convert better. Last question, yeah.
So I'm just splitting it in that way. It's more at the creative side. I'll say why I split it, right? Century Mattress and Clovia probably have products, right? So I'm focusing on the VR, AR advertising as in a virtual showroom, right? Are you guys already doing something related to that in Century Mattress and Clovia? Or are you guys open to do something in that line, at that front? Or how is it? How do you see the market? And when it comes to the other two, let me finish, yeah. So when it comes to the other two, it's more like I don't think they will be open to do a virtual showroom or something, but I'm thinking what is something unconventional that you are thinking that probably could bring something to this side? So that's my question.
This one man in the audience is the only man which has one name and 3 companies on his tag.
Yeah, that's because I'm representing 2 different other organizations and I am a co-founder of a different organization.
On the first one, how do you leverage AI? We do leverage AI when it comes to catalog, So, we kind of change normal catalog shoots to AI catalog shoots, and they're doing wonders now. The CTR goes up to anywhere between 20 to 25%, Of course, if the CTR goes up, the end results also, like the purchase rate will also go up. That way, we're leveraging AI for now, and going forward, we're going to use that in our ads also.
Showcase, yeah.
I'm not sure about stores and all. We've not thought about it, but yeah. Those are the plans for now.
We can work together. So that's my question. We have something called See-Through. It's into VR, AR,
It's a pitch, is that?
Yeah, I'm pitching it now. Yeah.
Cool. I showed you he has 3-4 companies. He can pitch from any company now.
Okay. Yeah, I can do it. I have 3 more.
So I tell you, I am one of your prospects. So please pitch me. So coming on to the VR part, yes, we are actively working on with some of your competitors. Still the doors are open. So we are working to, give a different set of experience. So to, more on the business side, if you see, we have different channels in the offline mode, like MBO channel, EBO channel, exclusive my own store channel. So why any customer will choose where to buy? It is all because of his shopping experience. So for our exclusive EBO store, we have about 416 EBO stores roughly. So for that stores, we are working on some VR model to give better experience for the customer. So I think for this, I can say that I am your prospect.
Good.
But you have to go through an agency, okay? You can't go directly.
I'll give you a 10% cut. Moving on with
I'm a very hard negotiator, so better think of it.
Maybe we can.
See, insurance, largely even today, for example, health insurance, so they are assisted sales, right? Why can't AR help there? It is, you need to be explained what the product is, right? What if I could do that digitally? Right? It's a great model to have. Instead of having an army of telecallers, I'll have one AR model, right? Let's talk.
Yeah, sure, after that.
See, the way I see is, I'm not sure whether AR/VR will work in banking, but as consumers, we are spoiled for choices. Okay, so I see, I mean, for example, you have a toll-free, then you have video banking, then you have WhatsApp banking, and then you can get into social media, then you can do your banking. The point is, you will have to give the consumer the choice, and it has to be seamless. So morning I may have interacted with you on social media, night I may connect with you on video banking. The fact is that as a brand, am I able to understand and link the threads and continue that conversation? So at the end of the day, it is the content and service that will rule roost. AR/VR might come up as channels, but at the end of the day, if I am happy with the channels through which you are offering the service, if the service is responsive and prompt, I think the consumer will decide whether the channel should be our AR or VR in the future.
Cool. I think time's up. Questions are done. I would request a special round of applause for this panel to take the maximum number of questions from the audience. So thank you so much.